Hi folks, I hope you're doing well. I ended yesterday's video with knowledge is knowing and wisdom is doing, and I truly believe that. That is a central theme for all the videos I'm doing right now. It's a central theme for me this year. I want to do more and say less. Um, it's hopefully a central theme for me over the next decade. I'm in my 40s now and I'm determined to have much greater output, to do more things, to try more things in my 40s than I did in my 30s, to try and make up for lost time. That being said, I want to suggest another book which has been central in me trying to develop this philosophy, if I can put it that way. A book I read last year sometime, and again, I can't recommend it highly enough. Anti-Fragile by Nassim Taleb. One of the recurring ideas in that book is that many things in life can only be understood through contact with reality. And what does that mean in plain English? You can't theorize your way through life. You have to live life. You can't learn to swim from a book. You can't learn leadership from a podcast. You can't learn courage from theory. You have to do these things. Wisdom is doing. Eventually, at some point, reality has to kick in. You have to get in the arena, and it's something like I say, I've I've noticed in my life, and I'm trying to correct that notion of I will do something when I'm ready. I do not believe in that notion anymore. I do not believe in saying I'm not ready. I am choosing to believe, and I'm choosing to go through life going forward to saying, I am ready. I've seen it far too much where human potential has been trapped inside that phrase of, I'm not ready. Yes, there are situations where you do need to prepare. I'm not saying that preparation is not important. You shouldn't fly a plane if you're not properly trained. You shouldn't do surgery without proper education or training. You shouldn't do surgery from what you watch on YouTube or anything like that. Preparation does matter. But that being said, life is for living. You cannot prepare forever. And that's true for all meaningful pursuits in life. Um, I choose to believe that readiness is a myth when you are trying to pursue your goals or trying to achieve something meaningful in life. Readiness is largely a myth because the skills that are required for you to achieve any meaningful goal are developed during the journey. And I go back to a very simple phrase and one that I love that says, the obstacle is the way. That the only way through something is to confront that thing. The notion that you will be ready one day, that you need more preparation, that you need more knowledge, that you need more whatever it may be, the skills required are developed during the journey, not before it. Again, I look at my life and I think about becoming a parent. I definitely wasn't ready when I became a parent. Even now, I've been a parent now for 11 years. And looking at all that I know about being a parent, all that I've gone through, if someone was to magically say, okay, do you starting again? You have no kids. Are you ready now? Knowing what I know about being a parent, no, I'm still not ready. But ironically, that is the whole point, is that to become a good parent, you have to be a parent. You have to do the parenting, you know? And I'm by no means saying don't take advice from others who've walked through the journey. I'm not saying don't read a book that can help you through the journey. But for me to become the parent that I am, I had to become the parent that I am, if that makes sense. I wasn't ready. I'm still not ready because I know that as my kids grow, they're going to give me new challenges and I will cross that bridge when I get there. I think about my business. I've certainly been doing life on hard mode over the last decade because I started my business around about the same time I had my first child. And I look at all the things that I've gone through as a business owner, and I love business. I'm a huge advocate of business. I've talked about leverage before and how business can help you implement the concept of leverage in your life. But I'm certainly not one of those people who want to romanticize business and make it seem like just by starting a business, you automatically become a millionaire and all your problems will be solved. Business is incredibly difficult. There have been moments where, as a business owner and as a parent, I've asked myself, what am I doing? Why did I quit my corporate job with my benefits and guaranteed salary and do this thing? It has tested me in ways that, looking back, and I sometimes, one of my things that I love doing is going back to my original business plan and reading through that and just laughing at how little I knew about the journey that lied ahead of me and still lies ahead of me, because there's still a lot of things I want to do in my business and achieve in business. So again, I'll say, have I arrived? Am I a seasoned business owner, business manager, entrepreneur? I certainly don't think so. Does that mean I'm going to shut up shop and go look for a job? No, because everything that I still want to achieve in my business and in my career, I have to do it. I have to go and do it. And as much as I'm not ready for some of the obstacles that will come, again, I choose to say that I am ready, because nobody's ready. Nobody's ever ready, whether it's leadership, marriage. I used to do a lot of public speaking and media work. I wasn't ready. Had to learn. One day, I always say, I'll write the fabled book that people ask for. I'm not ready for that, but it will happen. The point I'm trying to make is that you are never ready to build something meaningful. The readiness comes in doing it. Nobody starts those things feeling prepared. Nobody starts those things feeling prepared. The feeling comes later. And depending on the goal and depending on what it is you're trying to achieve, that later can sometimes be years or decades later. Every person I know who's achieved anything meaningful has suffered from imposter syndrome, deeply suffered from imposter syndrome, and you do it while feeling like you're not qualified, like feeling like it shouldn't be you, feeling like this is too big for me. Um, and that's what I want to say. Most people spend enormous amounts of time waiting for certainty, waiting for, when I get this position, when I get this income, when I get this, when I do this, waiting to feel confident, waiting to feel qualified, waiting to feel ready. But what life has taught me is that reality is quietly teaching the people who started before they felt ready. And that is the hidden cost of waiting, is that while you're waiting to become ready, someone else is doing the thing that you're scared to do, and they are becoming experienced. They're making mistakes, they're learning the lessons, they're building relationships, they're developing the judgment. They are turning knowledge into wisdom. Not because they're better than you, not because they're smarter than you, not because they're more capable than you, but because they simply entered the arena. They're doing it. They are competing. They're not just talking about achieving their goal. They are actively pursuing it and saying to themselves, I'm ready now. I'm doing it now. And one of the great ironies of life is that action creates confidence far more often than confidence creates action. One of the great ironies of life is that action creates confidence far more often than confidence creates action. Most people have that relationship backwards. They think, once I feel confident, I'll begin. But confidence is usually the result of action, not the prerequisite. You become confident by doing something, making the mistakes, and surviving your mistakes, by adapting, by discovering that you as a person are more capable than you thought. And none of those things happen while you're waiting to be ready. That's why I think the most dangerous form of procrastination is not laziness. It's preparation disguised as progress. And I discussed this a while back in one of my videos talking about intelligent people and how one of their greatest skills is creating the story about themselves and their potential to protect themselves. Always relying on one day I will, one day I will, one day I can, I have the potential to. And for as long as it's I will one day, you're protecting yourself because you're never actually doing the thing to find out if that potential is real. If you are that person, if you are capable, if you can do it. The endless planning, the endless research, the endless optimization, all of it feels productive. But often it's just fear that's wearing a respectable outfit. That's what that is. And what are you afraid of? You're scared of looking foolish. You're scared of failing. You're scared of discovering the outcome, especially in the modern world, the social media world, where everywhere you look, it seems like all your peers and everyone you know is doing so well because nobody posts their losses. Nobody posts the videos where they are foolish. Nobody posts the videos where they are failing. Nobody posts the videos where the outcome is not what they wanted. And that's understandable. But life, I have learned, has a very strange way of charging interest on hesitation. And I've seen that firsthand, and that's why I'm almost trying to not push myself, but almost hypnotize myself, almost force myself to be more action orientated, because there are so many things that I thought I would do in my 30s that I never did, not because I couldn't do them or I didn't have the opportunity, but it was this thing of one day, one day, one day. And I'm looking back now, it's too harsh to call it a wasted decade, but I think I say it's a decade. My 30s was a decade of potential, and I'm tired of potential. I'm tired of potential and the interest that it has levied on my life through hesitation. Because I'm realizing now that the opportunities don't wait, the years don't wait, certainly not, the people don't wait. And eventually the cost of waiting becomes greater than the risk of beginning. The cost of waiting becomes greater than the risk of beginning. And the people who build remarkable lives seem to understand that very simple fact. You don't become ready, then act. You act, and the readiness emerges along the line. So, what is my question of the day that I'm working through in my journal, my preparedness over the weekend so that I can start next week ready to act? I'm asking myself, what am I postponing because I think I need more preparation? What am I postponing because I think I need more preparation when in reality I need more exposure? I need to be doing more, not researching more. Because I finally understand that some lessons can only be learned in motion.